Alright, hey Nick. This is a video for Tiny Dancer. So I will post this, but I'll also send along this sheet with you, email to you. And I just want you to notice on the sheet that it has the lyrics, and under the lyrics there are these sort of time slash markings, and those are deliberately the beat, they're the pulse. So there's no rhythm that's actually written there, but I know you know the song in your head, and the rhythm of those words corresponds very exactly to where those beats are. There's 4 per measure. It's at 4/4 time. Where there's some parentheses, those are just open spaces. There's a rest, basically. There's a rest there. So you can follow whatever floats your boat, but notice when the chord changes, I put the chord when it changes exactly over the word or words or part of word where that chord changes. So I feel like there's 2 approaches here. One is a melodic approach, which is to be able to match just the melody, and the other is a harmonic approach. And then, of course, the third thing is to try to fuse those things together. So I think I've got it boiled down to some pretty simple stuff. We've talked about the intro at length, but what I'd like to do is to demonstrate using a metronome. This is a metronome at quarter note equals 72, which is about where Elton does it. It's a little bit slower. But I'm going to set this to 72, and I'm going to play just the first verse. Okay, first verse in C major. 1, 2, ready, here's the melody only. Comes in on beat 3, and next line, 1, 1, 1, 2. Next line, and 1. Next line, 1, 1, 1. Okay? So that's the first thing, is to be able to play just the melody with your right hand in time, 72. Here's the harmonic component to it, and then I'll try to give you a closer look at the keyboard if you need that. I figure if you can distill this whole thing down to some open chords where you have a pretty wide stance of your left hand and a little bit of the right hand as well. The first chord is in your left hand, C, G, and E. So you have to really stretch for that. C, G, and E. And right hand, thumb on G, and pinky on E. And it's just like the introduction that you've done. So if you take those notes and the next, there's only one other iteration in that open thing, is to take your left hand index finger and move it from G up to A. And with your right hand, play an F chord in root position. And that's it, basically. So you have this and this. And from those 2 harmonic configurations, you can easily play. Same thing. Again, left hand is C, G, E. Right hand, thumb on G, pinky on E. And then that's the first chord. The next chord, or the F over C chord, is to take your left hand and move that index finger up to A, keeping your pinky on the C, and with your right hand playing an F chord in root position. So here's the first half of the verse again, only using those 2 configurations. that's the first part. On the second part, I feel like it's helpful to take your left hand and go to root position, close chords that you can play the whole thing in this close capacity, not spread out like this, but more closely together. So take your left hand, put your pinky on F, and your middle finger on A, and your thumb on middle C. And this will give you an F chord in root position. If you play that, let's trace those chords through, starting at the word ballerina. There's the F chord in root position. If you go, everybody in the every finger goes down a half step to E minor, so it's pinky on E, all the white notes, and then keep your pinky on E and move the upper two notes back to where they were. This should give you an A minor chord in the second inversion. Okay? Next chord on the word seen is a D chord, and I recommend keeping the middle of that chord right there on A, and the outer parts of that chord coming up to D and F sharp. And that will give you a D chord in first inversion. Next line, lower the F sharp to F natural. This is now D minor. All three of those go up. The notes are G sharp, B, and E. This gives you E chord in first inversion. And then lastly, an A minor in root position. A, C, E, root position. And for that last chord, take all three of those and go up one note, all white notes, B, D, and F, which is a B diminished chord, but in this case, in the context, it's really like a G7 with B in the bass. So at this juncture, I'm going to take the iPad and keep this video going, but I'm going to take the iPad. Actually, what I'll do is, let's see here. Yeah, I'll take a pause from this video and I'll make a second video just so it doesn't take as long to upload or for you to download, as it were. So, end of video number 1. Video number 2 is forthcoming.